Perfectionism. Perfectionism is celebrated. People that are perfectionists are revered. I can't tell how many times I've had people say, if you could hire a perfectionist, Karen, if you were more of a perfectionist, things would be better. Welcome to She Leads Confidently podcast. This podcast support women as they grow and evolve into the woman of their dreams to start living your best version of you ever. Perfectionism is something that I have never been. I have been on the opposite end of the spectrum where I would just do the best I could and send it out. If it had typos, we'll fix it. If it has adding mistakes, we'll fix the adding mistakes. And I always thought, well, look at me, how, I'm the anti-perfectionist. And somebody sat me down and was like, Karen, by you sending your work out kind of half-assed, you're telling the world you're not good enough. And I really took that to heart and thought, is that really what I'm saying? And then I just read Julia Cameron's book, The Artist Way, and she says perfectionism is a way of saying I'm not good enough. And I read that and I was like, wow, because you're afraid to put your work out into the world. Because, I've got to make sure the semicolon's in the right place, the words are the right place. Now, I understand taking a lot of time, if you're doing a presentation, putting a lot of time into it, putting a lot of time into, your reports, any of that stuff. But if it becomes crippling to where you're not actually getting anything out, then it's not to be celebrated. And for years, for as long as time, people have celebrated it. Like, oh, look at me, I'm a perfectionist. And then me, oh, look at me, I'm not a perfectionist. I just ship and see what happens. It's both ends of the spectrum saying we're not good enough. There's a happy balance in there. The happy balance of, you know what? I think I've proved it. I've had people prove it. I've had my adding checked. I've had my slides checked. I've done the best I can, but if I keep agonizing over it, I'll never get it done, and it's good enough. And I think Carly Fiorina, said that back when she was with Hewlett-Packard. In fact, I think she wrote a book titled, It's Good Enough. At some point, you've got to say, it's good enough. Confident women say, it's good enough. I've done the best I can. If you see something you don't like, if you have changes you want to suggest, absolutely. But I'm not going to let it sit on my desk and paralyze me. And as perfectionism does, it paralyzes you. It paralyzes you from doing what you need to do to get it out so you can move on to the next project and the next project. I have always tried to avoid hiring perfectionists. I've tried to keep them out of my life. But it was because they just drove me crazy with their perfectionism. I never, ever once viewed it as a call for help, as a way to say, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, my voice isn't worthy. And I think that's why some people celebrate it, because it's a way to hold people back. And there's so many ways that we can figure out how to hold ourselves back that we certainly don't need help from others, but it kind of is. And so we have to quit celebrating. We have to quit putting in. And in fact, I was looking on Indeed yesterday for the word perfectionist, and people have it in their job things. We're looking for somebody that's a perfectionist, in quotes. But basically what you're saying is we're looking for somebody that doesn't trust their work, is insecure in what they do, and can't get out of their own way. And if you're a perfectionist and I'm offending you right now, I apologize, but you need to look at why you're really a perfectionist. Because nobody in this world is ever going to get something 100% right. If you used a computer, I use Grammarly to help write, so I don't have to screw around with all the grammar and that. I do it, I throw it in there. Or I use ChatGPT and then take it over to Grammarly, or Jasper and put it over to Grammarly. They'll send things back to me and it's like, why are you putting an S there? That's not a plural. Or why are you putting a semicolon? That doesn't belong there. So even they don't get it right. And they're AI, they're artificial intelligence, and they're not getting it right. Nobody gets it right 100%. All you can do is sit down, tell yourself, I'm going to work on this to this point, and then I'm going to send it. I'm done. Take action. The way we overthink is to hold us back from taking action. Because when you take action, you put yourself out there in the world. When I take action with videos, I'm putting myself out there. Whether it's 10 people that watch this video or 1 million people that watch this video, I'm putting myself out there. And it's not perfect. But I've also put out videos that were less than. Because again, I was the antithesis of perfectionist. I was at the other end of the spectrum, but doing the same thing. Still doing the same thing. Well, no, of course, I'm not saying I'm not good enough. I'm just saying that, I'm in such a hurry. But I was saying my work isn't good enough. I'm not worthy to take that 10 extra minutes to put it through Grammarly or to spell check it or whatever. That's what I was saying. For those of you that are in the middle, that you're not perfectionists and you're not, just send it out, that can just say in your heart, it's good enough. You're ahead of the game. And I really want to hear people's opinions. I want to hear your opinion. Put it in the comments. If you're on YouTube, put it in the comments. And if you're on YouTube, please give me a subscribe so you'll be notified when I do videos, because I've been doing a lot of shorts, and I'll continue to do shorts, but I'm going to start doing a lot more videos. And if you want to coach with me one-on-one, check out my website. And I also have an online confidence course for the busy woman who just doesn't have time to carve out coaching time on my website as well. But I've checked my website for typos and all that. There are probably still people going to find it, because now I've learned to say it's good enough. At some point, you got to put your work out there. At some point, you've got to get up on that stage and let your voice be said. At some point, you got to write. There's my books. At some point, you got to take time to write that book, and you have to accept that it probably isn't going to be perfect, but it's good enough, and good enough is going to win the day 99% of the time. And if you have a boss that's perfectionist, what he's telling you is he's not good enough. Therefore, he's going to make you feel not good enough. Because that's all that is. That's all somebody says, well, this isn't perfect. They're just saying, I don't feel good about myself, so I'm going to make you not feel good. People reflect back to you what they're thinking. Just listen. I mean, one of my gifts is I hear what's not said. I see what's not being said. So I can see the subtle put downs of the great bosses that encourage people. I walked on a meeting and said, man, you have a good manager. He really is encouraging. She'll be like, really? It's like, you didn't read his body language. You didn't see how he was celebrating you. I see that. So if you want any help, let me know. But please stop becoming a perfectionist, or stop saying it's good. I looked at it once and I sent it. It's good enough. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, again, put it in the comments. Have a great day. If there's any topics you want me to talk about on my podcast, put it in the comments below. And I hope to see you over in my free Facebook group, She Leads Confidently, where we have a lot of discussions, and it's morphing into more tools and techniques and all that good stuff as well. Have a great day, you guys.